my friend threw the most beautiful 18th century evening party, so I knew that I wanted to create something very special. Last year I wore yellow and black and I didn't really like it on me, so I wanted something that was a bit more vibrant. So I started out in my chemise, which is the white nightgown looking item, and then I had my stays on. This is my pockets with the labubu. Pockets went underneath your garment. So in the 18th century, garments didn't really have pockets made into them. You tied them around. I added an extra pocket because I wanted to put other items in my pocket and one didn't work out. And then I'm putting over my panniers from period corsets. I have only good things to say about these things. I do not like making them, and this was the most perfect silhouette. And then the organza petticoat came in from period corsets as well, and I felt like I could have actually just worn this and I would have been super happy. The panniers are available on Period Corset's website, but the organza petticoat was custom made, and I am legitimately obsessed with it. All have slits in the side, and that's how you can access your pockets. Now I'm going to put my petticoat on. This was a completely new way of doing petticoat. You take the small section that is going to be your waist measurement and you put that on the waistband. The excess fabric gets drawn up with a drawstring and tied so you can adjust it over your panniers. I know that doesn't make any sense, so I kept a little visual here so you can see. This excess fabric is on a drawstring, and once you pull it together, like so, you can adjust it over your pannier, but I think for the time being, I figured it out. I was so proud. So now comes the gown. I used a Janet Arnold Patterns of Fashion. I'm going to say book 5, but don't quote me on that. So I stole this idea from my friend Kit Kat Stitch. It has this internal lacing, and it really does help the fit insanely well. So if you're going to make your own sack back gown, I would recommend putting this internal lacing in, but make sure that you're going to do this lining that it connects to the back. I know that doesn't make any sense. If you're trying to make your own and you can't figure it out, just write me because I am happy to pass on this knowledge. Now comes the part that nobody likes, the pinning. Pins were such a crucial part of the 18th century. Pins were used to pin your clothing on. What I'm doing is taking my little silver pins and I am pinning through the stomacher, and then I'm burying that in my stays, which is the pink corset that I'm wearing. It's boned, so you don't actually pin yourself. I have stuck myself, but you know, it is what it is. And then I'm taking the front of my gown underneath the little ribbons and I'm pinning that to my stomacher. And I like the part where I said, oh, I never ever stab myself except right here. Boom, stab myself and caught it on camera. It doesn't feel good, but again, is what it is. And then I'm going to take the front of my gown and I'm pinning that to my stomacher. And then this is what my final gown looked like. But I felt like because it was a garden party, I needed something to make it a little jazzy. And of course, feathers complete the look. This was an evening event, so I don't really care how big they were. I love this costume. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I just think I did such a great job and I'm very proud of myself considering I struggled making it.